welcome back to the Plant Powered Podcast. Today I've got a very exciting interview with my best friend, and we've been very close since we were 11 years old, way back at intermediate middle school, so it's a very, very long time. So we both eat plant-based. We have pretty much the same diets, but she started off from a bit of a different background and has come a really long way, and she worked as a professional model for 5 years, and now she's also a DJ. So usually people who have a big nightlife and go out a lot, they don't often prioritize their health and nutrition. So it's really, really cool to see her doing both. So do you want to just give a little bit of an introduction to yourself, if there's anything I haven't covered?
Yeah, I'm Arlen. So now that I DJ, it can be a huge hurdle to eat healthy as well and have such a crazy lifestyle. But slowly you just pick up tips and learn things, which Cassie has actually helped me a lot with. Just like prepping things and that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's been a journey, but I've made it. So
did you want to give us a little bit of a introduction and explanation of your background, more when you're at school and you ate? I know you used to eat like a McDonald's cheeseburger a day for a while, and then when you had all those energy drinks and it like ripped up your stomach lining and all of that, and then how you started implementing better eating habits coming from a background like that.
Okay, so my background was with food was very bad, and I had like quite a crazy lifestyle from such a young age, and I hated anything healthy. I used to say that I don't eat vegetables, none at all, and so I only drank V, and every day I would have about 2 a day, and I would maybe eat like a cookie or a pie or something like that. And I always was so tired, and I had no idea it had something to do with food. So I just kept doing it. And then the doctors actually told me that you need to stop drinking V or you're going to put a hole in your stomach. And I was like, yeah, okay, I'll stop. And I didn't. And I came very close to having a hole in my stomach from drinking so much energy drinks. And so then I finally stopped, and my stomach has been never the same since. But the more I eat healthier, the easier it is on my stomach. But yeah, even after quitting V, I still ate terrible. I didn't eat any nutritional food at all. I just had McDonald's every day or KFC, only takeaway food, and maybe the occasional like Subway or something.
Yeah.
But yes, slowly but surely I've changed each little thing. When I first started changing, I actually had to force myself to eat vegetables. So I was like sitting over the sink, like forcing myself, like, come on. And after at least 1 week, I started to realize how much different it made me feel. And so since then, I've just been trying more and more different vegetables. And now I can say I love mainly all veggies.
Yeah, I really like that description, because I think that happens with a lot of people. They're too scared to even try new food. And with your gut bacteria, it has like been adapted to digest what your current diet is, and people look at veggies and don't know how to prepare it in a nice way, or just think it will, like that they think that they won't enjoy it. But if you just start incorporating new things, there's things that I've tried several times kind of thing, because you may not necessarily like something the first time. So I think if you just keep giving it a go and seeing what works for you and trying to incorporate new ingredients on a regular basis, then you'll slowly like open up your taste palette and be more open to new foods. And then once you feel how it makes you feel, then you'll definitely start craving them more naturally.
And my body was definitely adapted to eating bad food, and I only craved bad food. And I had no idea how much of an impact it really had on me. It definitely contributed to my depression that I had. And as soon as I started eating good food, I started feeling a lot better. And just, each time I try a veggie, I try to do it in a different way. Or, say if I didn't like it the first time, it's usually like the second or third time I'm like, actually, like, oh, that's pretty good. And then I feel amazing for having it. So, yeah.
Yeah. What was the main driver and shift that made you really want to start eating more plant-based?
Initially, it was for health, 100%, just because I realized how much it impacts everything, your whole energy levels, how you feel, how you think even. So that was the initial thing. And I just went vegetarian first to try it, to see like what kind of things were going on. And it made a huge difference. And not that I ate that much dairy, but I still would have like a little bit here and there. Then I went full vegan. And it was really awesome. But I realized that sometimes you've got to have balance in your life as well. And so that's where I went back to plant-based. So majority of meat.
Yeah. So for anyone who doesn't personally know me and Arlen, we both kind of have the same approach. So I eat 90 to 95% plant-based, but still eat eggs for my own chickens because it makes me feel good, but it's not contributing to the industry. And I know my chickens are happy, and we give them like all the scraps from the kitchen and stuff plus seed, and they can just roam around. So it's really good. And I still enjoy fish. Salmon is actually my favorite food. So I've still kept that in my diet, but I only crave it at certain times of the month. So I might only eat it like twice a month and it satisfies the craving. Then I just don't want it anymore until a few more weeks kind of thing. So I think it's a really balanced approach. And I liked also doing that. Say if you're socializing and if you go to a bar and the only vegan option is like, I call it the salad with the stabby lettuce, and it's that gross mesclun and I can't stand it, then I'll order like a fish burger or something as a treat. So I still enjoy having things like that. And I feel like that has been better for my when I didn't have those products. I had a bit more brain fog, but I was also living in the city and stuff. So personally, I like just sitting on that 90% kind of thing, and then you can kind of make it work for you. So it's a good lesson that everyone's different. But yeah, if you feel like full vegan is best for you, then do it. And if you feel like a 90% approach is best, then that's still better than doing nothing at all. So it's definitely still helping your health and the animals and the planet.
Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of people kind of have a misconception with that. It's that even if you just change a few meals in your diet to vegetarian or vegan, it makes a massive difference. And yeah, everyone is different and everyone needs different things. But yeah, I'm the same as you. Just a bit of fish every now and then. I kind of crave that high nutritional value. Plus, it's easier on the stomach as well. But just being balanced with it, and yeah, 90% is a great approach.
Yeah. What do you find was the hardest and easiest part of making the switch?
For me, it was definitely chicken. If I'm honest, that was my hardest thing. Things like KFC and that kind of stuff. So getting that kind of thing out. But I'm very lucky. I've never really liked like red meats and stuff like that. I never. And also same with dairy. I hated cheese and butter and all that kind of stuff. So a lot of people's hardest one is always cheese, which for me was super easy because I don't really eat it anyway. And another thing that was really hard was just finding the right alternatives, especially when I switched. There was not so many great alternatives, but in the recent years we've got so many now to choose from. So
yeah, it's really easy now, I think. How has your confidence changed with modeling your relationship with food, and the thing that you discussed, well, the thing that you mentioned to me about posing, how you used to always like suck in and like even myself used to just not eat before a photo shoot and stuff. So how has your relationship with food and your body changed over the last few years?
It's changed dramatically. So yeah, I used to starve myself and things like that for shoots, and just still not really provide the right nutrition for my body. Like it was better than it was, but in more recent years I've learned that you're actually doing better if you fuel your body right. And so one of the main changes is just making sure that I eat a good like portion sizes and stuff like that, so I'm getting the right nutrition and the right fuel. Whereas when I was younger, I would still maybe eat healthier, but it was still not like enough or the right things. Yeah.
And when you said starve yourself for shoots, was that like just on the day so that your tummy is flat, or do you mean like for a week leading up to it and stuff?
Often it would be, at least a few days beforehand I would eat less, because I would think that it makes such a difference. It only might do to us, like to yourself personally, when you but when other people see you, they don't notice that like little tiny difference in your stomach, which was a huge thing. Modeling actually helped me realize that we're beautiful no matter what. And it's good to actually look after yourself more than starve yourself.
Yeah, because I used to do that. Not for all, I think the week before a shoot, I'd just eat healthy. I wouldn't limit portion sizes, but on the day, I would only have a coffee. And then, like, if you're doing some shoots for like 4 to 6 hours and you're tensing the whole time, sometimes out in the heat or out in the freezing cold, and it's like a really hard workout sometimes. And then by the end of it would be like, well, I'd be so starving. I'd like have to shove food at my face because I was just so hungry from the day. So it's better to just have like a nice breakfast or something small that won't bloat you, and like a coffee or whatever. But and then like actually feel like you've got fuel to do it properly kind of thing. So that's a much better approach.
Yeah, 100%. It took me a while to like realize, but once I realized it's great. And yeah, you just have something that's not too filling, just like a nice amount of fuel for your body.
Yeah. How do you manage to take care of yourself even though you're DJing every weekend with late nights at the clubs, gigs, parties, and festivals?
Yeah, when I first started DJing, I definitely fell into the trap of drinking, say, vodka Red Bulls every weekend, like quite a few of them. And then every time once I finished a gig, it got to the point where I would do it every day, even if I wasn't hungry. At 3 a.m., I'd grab a cheeseburger on the way home just because it became like a ritual. Something where, because I was eating pretty healthy in the day, but it was just became a thing. So I realized quite quickly that how unhealthy it was to just have it because it was there kind of thing. So I started making sure that I had something yum at home, or like something like decent and filling at home. So to cut the takeaways out, and started switching the drinks to like a vodka soda or like a gin and tonic, and just having like one or two, because they build up on you quite quickly. When you're out, you get free drinks and all that, so you just have one and then another, and then by the end of the night you've had like 5 vodka Red Bulls, and that's just way too much Red Bull. It's so much So yeah, it was actually quite hard. I didn't realize I was even doing it for a while because it just became a part of the whole routine. But yeah, I caught onto that very quickly, and I kind of cut the takeaways out. I'll still get takeaways every now and then at the end of the night, but yeah, I try to have something healthy and cut the drinks down as well.
Yeah, because people always used to ask me that when they'd see me in town. They're like, how do you look like that if you go like clubbing all the time and go to gigs and stuff? And when I was in Auckland, it was probably cool enough weather to do it, but I would always make like a veggie soup. This one time me and Arlen were at a gig, and it was horrible because the sound system was really bad, the crowd was really bad, and I think that it started pouring with rain as well.
Yeah,
I remember. Yeah. It was so bad. And then we just came back and like ate soup in bed at like 2 or 3 in the morning or something. But I'd always make sure I've got something. I'd have like a little dinner beforehand, and then make sure I've got like a nice snack or something with leftovers in the fridge, or even like having trail mix and stuff. I remember this one time at that gig in Tauranga, and they had that huge platter, and I put Brazil nuts in my little fanny pack.
Oh my god. Yeah, we were sitting at that table for ages getting all the snacks, and then you just put the nuts in your fanny pack and you're like, these have got selenium.
Yeah. So when I was like dancing, I could just eat Brazil nuts and stuff. But in terms of drinking, I just really like wine, but I think it's really efficient because it's like so high in alcohol content. So one bottle of wine is like 12 to 14 standard drinks. So one glass is like way stronger than normal. So I only need like I usually would have like 2 on a night out, or like max 3, and I'd be extremely tipsy. But if it's spread out across hours and hours, then I could handle 3. But that's enough for me. And dealing with the caffeine and stuff, like if I was to ever have vodka with an energy drink, I'd only make that 1 and then switch it up for your other drinks, so you're not having like so much caffeine after caffeine, if that makes sense. I think that's about it. And then when I was in Auckland, when I was living a really busy lifestyle, if I was sober driving, I'll just take pre-workout to town. And I had these like cans of this natural pre-workout, except it's not available anymore, and I'll just take that for the night and then be good to go, then dance for hours, and you get like 5 hours of exercise. So it would like keep us that was when I was like the most fit that I've ever been.
Dancing so much, definitely.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people, they just have that habit of just going to McDonald's or getting takeaways or eating really fatty food. And especially the next day, recovery is key as well. Always have a kombucha or just a plain iced coffee with like espresso and soy milk, or I'll make a smoothie or have a greens powder or coconut water. Can't remember if I already said that. And or sometimes if I'm like really dehydrated, I'd like go into town and just buy like a nice vegetable juice, like a beetroot and carrot juice or something, and then like lay by this little lagoon and have a little swim or something. So recovery is definitely key, but I always make sure I eat really well the next day and get some greens back into you, like make a nice salad or something instead of reaching for the really greasy food, if that makes sense. So it's just like replenishing the nutrients that you've
definitely.
lost. Yeah.
That was another thing too, was even in the morning, quite often you do feel like, say, like something lazy or something like that. So just having that food ready to go, and you've got me onto kombucha, so I've been having that like every day.
What are your best tips on embracing being unique instead of conforming to the crowd or current beauty trends?
Oh, that's a good one. So I used to definitely conform, or say try my hardest to fit in and do what other people thought was cool, or that kind of thing growing up. And I always wanted to wear something, but I'd be like, oh no, maybe it's too much, or this kind of thing. But slowly I just realized that you only get one life, and you got to live it for you. And so now I'll just wear whatever I want, stand out to be unique, and try think of something different instead of just following the trends. And it is very hard with social media like right there pushing on us all the time, but it's realizing that everyone is only putting the 10% of their life, like the best stuff out, and not showing the other stuff behind it. So it's just really trying to be true to yourself and stop worrying about what others are thinking, because it doesn't matter what they're thinking, it's your life.
Yeah, I think a lot of people fall into the trap of they don't want to, like, they don't even think about what things make them happy or what things they actually like, because they just like what everyone else likes because they don't want to be out of place and stuff. That's even feeling comfortable with yourself. I remember when we used to be at gigs, and then like if you would go to the bathroom the time at my first ever night at the club, and then you went outside, and then when you were so worried that I'd be so nervous to be on my own, or like I just wouldn't know what to do with myself, and then you came in, and then I was just behind the DJ decks dancing. But so many girls, like, they've got to, even just in public places in general, they've got to be joined at the hip, and they're so scared to even be seen alone. But I, like, if I even need to get new clothes or go to the mall or something, I actually prefer to go by myself. Oh, it's like nice to do it with a friend, but then you can actually think, and like, I don't know, it's just nice to have alone time and think about what you actually want to wear, or what music you actually want to listen to, or what outfit that you actually want to wear, instead of just doing things because you think they're cool. I think it's much better to just stand out and embrace your different likes and stuff like that.
Definitely. A lot of people need to learn to be content in their own company. It's a super important process to go through, because a lot of people, they'll miss out on their favorite things that they want to do because their friends don't want to do it, which is such an unfortunate thing. And yeah, I'm really happy that I kind of gone through the process of being alone quite young. So I'm very content in my own company. And yeah, I figured out exactly what you said. Like, being alone, you can really think about whether you like it or not. Say maybe like a song as an example, everyone's like, oh, I love this song, but you listen to it and you go, do I actually like the song, or am I just liking it? Everyone else is liking it.
That's like one of the biggest ones I see.
Yeah, it's a very common thing. It's the same with clothing. It's the same with everything. So just really taking the time out to think about what you actually like, not what your friends like, or that kind of thing.
Yeah, and then they'll never find things that actually like them. Find things that actually light them up. Like, if they pretend to like the certain kind of music because that's what their friends like, or that's what's cool to like, then they'll never like experience how amazing it is to find what's true to you, or like what works with your body and like with your energy and your flow and stuff. So it's just so important to like really explore other things and just do things for yourself and not be afraid to stand out.
Definitely. And some people, they go their whole lives with never doing that. Some people, they make it to like 30 or 40 and then they figure it out. My mum said that she was like that till she hit 30, and she realized a lot of things like that. And so I think I'm pretty lucky that I figured it out quite young,
Mm.
And yeah, I want to help other people figure it out as well, because you only get one. So
Yeah. What do you think are the biggest misconceptions about healthy eating and plant-based diet?
one of the biggest ones is that it's yuck. I think that a lot of people think it's yuck. They maybe like a recipe that has got say chickpeas in it in place of something else. They'll go, oh, I don't like that. They've maybe never even had them, but they go, oh, that's like a healthy thing. I don't want to eat that. As soon as the veggies are put into it, it seems like it's not a nice thing anymore. It's crazy because veggies are lovely, especially if prepared right.
Yeah, that's so funny. I think people definitely think it's like yuck, or like something's missing, like if you don't have meat on the plate, but you've got to find like direct replacements kind of thing. Like I always say to people, if you have pasta, veggies and chicken, if you take out the chicken, it needs to be replaced also, whether you put on tofu or tempeh, switch out white pasta to that chickpea pasta, or like another high protein pasta. I've had like hemp pasta and quinoa pasta or something as well. So switching those out and just making sure you're actually directly substituting the nutrients, so that you're not just eating like salad. Well, yeah, like they usually have piddly little salads as well, so like doubling or tripling the size of the salad on the plate. And I think that people think that it takes so long, it's so strenuous, and you've got to cook all the time. But I usually just live off stir fries and stuff, so it's 10 minutes, and I just have like the quickest dinners out of anyone. And usually it takes longer to even get takeaways, like waiting in line and stuff.
That's more control on your body as well.
Yeah, it's not strenuous once you know what to do. So as long as you have like your go-to recipes and stuff, I usually just choose a veggie, and I'll sometimes cook the carbs in bulk, like doing a big tray of roast veggies or quinoa or rice, and then you can just add it in. And then the plant-based protein, if you buy mock meat, you never have to worry about salmonella or like getting sick from it or anything. So you just have to make it golden on each side, like a few minutes cooking, and then it's done. So I think it's like really easy.
Especially so finding like recipes like the veggie pie that I made, so it's still that comfortable homely food that we like, but then replacing all the bad ingredients with good things, even adding like secret ingredients in there. Like I always like grated carrots, so then it's like grated, so then you've got a whole veggie in the meal but without kind of noticing it. Just learning different ways to prepare it, because even myself, I did think veggies were yuck, so I totally understand where a lot of people come from on that aspect of it. Yeah,
I think that's a good idea, because even me, like I always say you need to eat different kinds of veggies, and I didn't buy carrots for ages because I just don't really like them, so I finally bought them and ate them with hummus. But if you grate it up, like you'll hardly notice if it's in like a different kind of recipe kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. It makes a big difference when you kind of like sneak them in. In fact, a lot of my first dishes that I first made, I don't have to do it now, but I had to grate them all pretty much, because I was like trying to make myself eat them, and I'd make it as small as possible. But now I love them and can have them anyway.
Yeah. The last question is, what do you think are your top tips for staying consistent long term? Because most people, whether it's usually just with trying to eat healthy in general or maintain a healthy body weight, I see like a lot of yo-yo dieting, binge eating, and like people just can't stay on top of it forever. So what are your tips for making it sustainable and something you can do forever?
Realizing that it is a lifestyle, not just like a get fit quick scheme. It's like a whole process of learning like small things to help you in the long run, and also realizing that it's okay to go up and down, because a lot of people they'll put on maybe like 2 kilos and then they'll think that they've fallen off, and they'll just keep going on the fallen off path, when really it's okay to go up and down and fluctuate. Just kind of realizing that is a huge tip.
I think that's a big one as well, because I've seen a few things online. There's one girl like shared this post and said, are you bloated or just full? Because I think girls have been just eating, and then when their tummy is sticking out more at the end of the day, they're like, oh my God, I'm bloated, and think that something's wrong. But you've just eaten, and it's like the end of the day, which is like what our body is meant to do and what it's meant to look like. And same as the whole fluctuation thing, like will even fluctuate at different times during the month or just different stages of your life. You might get really busy in your career for a while, or maybe like your child is sick and you're like hardly getting any sleep and you like have to kind of put your dieting or like your nutrition and fitness to the side for a few weeks, and you may look a little bit different, but it's not necessarily a bad thing as long as you just hop back on the consistent train like as soon as you can. But there's definitely like different stages. It's just what you do most of the time that counts.
Exactly. It's just like kind of realizing that you don't have to be perfect all the time. And so yeah, that's like why I also say the 90% approach is also a great thing, because it gives you that leniency to just kind of go up and down a little bit. Say maybe like, yeah, a couple years ago, I would have freaked out if I put on a couple kgs, but I just put on a couple kgs like for winter, and I still love myself the same. And I know that it comes off like if you just work out a little bit more or like eat a little bit healthier again, and that kind of, and it will continually do that your whole entire life. So just kind of accepting that and learning that, and realizing that diets can be this thing that we just do for a small amount of time rather than putting it as a whole lifestyle.
Yeah, and I think it's more in the bodybuilding space with tracking food and stuff. I think a little more lenience on yourself can really help, because last night I had a work meeting, and it was at the spa, and then I ordered like a glass of rosé wine, and then there was like this big platter. They had like meat and cheese and stuff on there, but I just had crackers and I think some dried apple, some hummus and grapes and strawberries and stuff. So it was still pretty healthy, but I know a lot of girls, if they got invited to something like that, they won't know how to track it exactly, or if they buy one meal out, so they'll like avoid social situations altogether and not actually enjoy your life at the same time. So it's really important to realize, like, if it's, I don't know, if you like don't track it exactly right, your body is not going to be ruined, or like the whole, I don't know, it's like just being a little bit more relaxed around that kind of thing, and like making sure you have fun with life as well.
Exactly, because it's just like sometimes a little bit too strict on yourself, and you got to have that kind of leniency, because having 2 extra grapes isn't going to make a difference on your body, because your body is designed to like take that kind of thing in. So as long as you're not overeating, it's fine.
Yeah, because usually I don't track food. I only just started 4 days ago now, but I don't even know how to track things exactly right. But say if you're dining out somewhere and something's not exact, like you don't track it 100% correctly, this whole time I've just been eating intuitively, and it like you still wake up the next day looking the same. So like it doesn't really make a difference.
Exactly. And I tracked my eating for 1 day just to kind of see how much like calories it was, and I didn't like go to the exact number. I just kind of like roughly did it, because it's those couple of little 1s and 2s aren't going to make a difference on the whole bigger picture.
I think just for like day-to-day life, just making sure you're enjoying life and not letting those little things like social situations and stuff put you off, because you can still have a great body and achieve your goals while you're having fun as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, cool. Well, that is everything. Do you want to just give a little conclusion? I'll put your personal page and your DJ page below.
Thank you. So basically, just in conclusion, is to just actually love yourself, because loving yourself is realizing how to fuel yourself properly, how to be more lenient on yourself and still push yourself to reach your goals, and that you want to make it a lifestyle for yourself and have fun with it.
Yeah. Well, hopefully everyone will find this really helpful, but thanks heaps for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, cool. Well, guys, stay tuned for the next podcast. I've got quite a few more interviews coming up that are going to be really, really exciting. So thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy.